Hello, I'm Josie Henley-Anian and I'm going to be reading a short extract from the book Children of the Resolution by Gary William Murning. I'm reading it on my Kindle, so excuse me as I electronically turn the pages. This is taken from page 10. Carl had been talking for a good half an hour, filling in details for me, backtracking when he recalled something he'd forgotten to mention. He seemed to grow in confidence as his story gathered momentum, and I couldn't help feeling that he was more comfortable visiting these times than even he might have expected. As he talked, his words found a rhythm all of their own, and even though it wasn't difficult for me to see that he was growing tired, it was clear that he wanted to continue. I settled pretty quickly after that, I think, he told me. It's surprising how quickly kids adapt. They're far better at it than adults. Far better than me, anyway. Me too, I admitted. My friend Andrea, you know Andrea, she's always trying to get me to do different things, from going to a new club in town to bungee jumping. And all I want to do is stay in with a good book and a bottle of wine. He was smiling, and I couldn't help but smile back. Pretty much. I didn't want this to become about me. As much as I liked Carl, this was about my dissertation, and I needed to be sure that I kept him moving in the right direction. He had insisted that it was important that I understand the pre-integration climate, if I was to ever grasp the whole sense of promise and revolution that came with the new philosophy, and I'd agreed with him. This, however, meant that it was probably going to be a longer job than I'd originally envisaged. The fewer distractions and diversions, the better. Glancing down at my notes, I said, "So how did Sunnyvale feel in those first few months? You say you adapted, but how did it compare with, say, your out-of-school life?" "Very different," he quickly answered. "I didn't like overlap. I didn't like my parents attending open days, for example. I could never have understood why at the time. But it was as if I was afraid that my home life might become somehow tainted by it if it got too close. Sunnyvale was... I thought of it as old, something from bygone days. In reality, I'm not sure how long it had been there, but it had the feel of a sanatorium for TB patients, you know, even down to the French windows and the south-facing perspective. Everyone there, the teaching and nursing staff, they all, as I remember it, worked with the best of intentions. But even before I had something with which to compare it, it always seemed stuck in a time warp to me." "And what about the fact that you were going to a different school to the one your friends at home were going to?" I said. "That must have at least seemed a little odd." Carl shrugged, looking suddenly rather more tired than I liked. "I don't think it occurred to me much. Certainly not in any way I could have easily expressed at the time. Maybe on that first day." He trailed off and nodded to a glass of water on his bedside locker. "Would you mind?" Leaving my notepad and pen on my chair, I held the glass for him so that he could sip water through the straw. "I'll come back tomorrow," I said. "You're tired." Thank you for listening.